If you're an inventor that's so determined to make their creation a reality, sometimes they gotta learn that you gotta break the rules a little bit. Those Libyans will never find me. So today we're counting down 6 inventors who didn't care about no rules. Number 6. Old Solman was a pharmacologist who was trying to invent a cure to mustard gas. Not this kind of mustard, silly. This kind. Torald came up with a bunch of different kinds of concoctions. Without any humans to experiment on, he decides to go and try it on himself. He exposed mustard gas to different parts of his body where he put different solutions to his cure. And while he did invent a special kind of Vaseline that made you resistant to mustard gas, it would have been impractical to cover a soldier in all that goop. So while his sacrifices seemed pointless at the time, it did later help the Geneva Convention sign away the use of this stuff in any kind of war. Because, you know. Number 5. Another scientist who likes to inject himself with his own goo. Jonas Salk. If you don't know who he is, you probably should. He cured fucking polio. You know little Tiny Tim from that classic Christmas tale. It's because of Salk that we don't have stupid kids like that anymore. You know, if you want to get real about it, Ebenezer Scrooge probably long outlived Tiny Tim. Even in his future vision, Tiny Tim was probably already a bag of bones. Polio was pretty messed up. So the only way the good doctor could prove his experiment was real was by testing it on his own family. He was pretty sure it was gonna work. This man erased the disease off the face of the earth and saved countless lives. But yet we still have anti-vaxxers. I don't know if a grave can spin that fast. Number 4. Thanks to crash test dummies, we can see the effects that car crashes have on the human body. Therefore, we can make our cars much safer. They were invented by Lawrence Patrick. He built them using the data he gathered when he tested crashes on himself. Gotta make those dummies. Patrick underwent over 400 rocket sled tests. The results were a bunch of broken ribs and fingers, but he also got the information that he needed to create his first dummy. Finally did it. Number 3. Elisha Otis worked in a factory using lifting systems to hoist up giant platforms. This was a pretty crazy job because there was nothing stopping a wire from snapping and squashing somebody into goo. That is until Otis created the first automatic braking system. When he demonstrated his invention to the public, he would ask people to cut a rope attached to a giant weight that would surely crush him. Come on, do it, you bastard, do it! The experiment was a success, and it was soon implemented in all elevators and construction equipment. Number 2. In the 1700s, there were still a lot of tall buildings and things you could fall off of. So the ideas of having a parachute were being thought on long before the idea of an airplane. One of these inventors was Louis Lenormand. One day he decided to throw out all the information of the tests before him, found the nearest tower with 2 umbrellas and just jumped off. To his amazement and the crowd below him, it actually worked, and even went on to inspire the name parachute. I didn't think it was going to work, I just wanted to die. Number 1. This is Dr. Gordon Giabadou, and before his experiments, there was very little known on how freezing affects the human body. Gordon Giggleboss needed more data, so there was only one thing he could do: jump into a frozen lake. Gordon submerged himself in water that was 95 degrees below zero. Other than shriveling his dick completely off, he made many important discoveries about if you should fall into a frozen lake or something. He even teaches classes about it now. Rule number 1, ice is cold. You don't want to end up like poor old Jack. And this Jack too. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps us out. So next time I release a video, you see it first.